Oh my god. Okay, I don't know where this video is going. Hello universe, my name is Kati, I'm not wearing pants, and welcome to my adventure. Okay, hi. I've tried filming about 3 or 4 different videos in the past couple weeks. Multiple times. For some reason, I just can't fucking get my shit together. It seems like I just can't wrap my mind around anything. Lately, my mind has just been a bunch of jumbled thoughts and emotions. And I know that's kind of what I'm about, but I don't want to put out a video that's so messy and fake that it could be the equivalent to my emotional breakdown video. If I wanted y'all to see my mental breakdown, I would have just recorded the night that I cried for 2 hours straight, then impulsively dyed my hair black as a way to cope with it. Don't judge me. So yes, if it isn't already obvious from my self-deprecating jokes and my spontaneous change in hair color, I've been going through some shit. But anyways, I think I want to talk a little bit about letting go. I want to talk about letting go of certain emotions and feelings. I want to talk about letting go of certain mindsets that might be holding you back. And I especially want to talk about when it's time to let go of certain relationships or people. I just wanted to give a little disclaimer before I get into any of this. I know not every circumstance is that easy. Sometimes there are bigger factors like kids, a lease, something along those lines that makes it harder for you to be able to just get up, let go, and walk away. Maybe what I'm gonna say can help you realize that you need to let go of certain things in your life right now, or it can help you better understand or cope with something from the past. But I'm in no way saying that what I believe is 100% right. Like I normally say, this is just what I've experienced. Maybe it could help somebody. So, going through life, we're taught to be fighters. Fight for what you want, fight for who you want, fight for where you want to go. And while I stand with that, I think it's also important to ask yourself, when is it time to give up that fight? Let's put this into a theoretical situation. Say you're in a relationship with someone. Although things started out amazing, you've reached a point where you're both enduring a lot of pain. There's a lot of tension and resentment. It's not a healthy situation for either of you, and although you've tried for a while, you just can't get back to the way you used to be. Of course you care about this person and you probably want what's best for not only them, but yourself too. So you come to the conclusion that it's time to let go. When it comes to letting go of more personal connections like friendships or relationships, it can get really complicated. In certain ways, you almost feel like a failure. What if you listened more? What if you communicated better? What if that night you got too verbally aggressive just hadn't happened? Maybe then could it have worked? Of course you'll have these thoughts, but fact of the matter is, it's okay to accept defeat in your personal relationships and to let go when things get unhealthy. It's not weak to want what's best for not just your loved one, but yourself too. And who knows? I just almost spilled my hot chocolate. Maybe by letting go of that relationship, it can also help you let go of some of that pain or resentment that formed with that relationship, and one day revisit the possibility of getting back together. Talking about what ifs, I want to move on to the next thing I feel is important of letting go. Emotions from your past. This one is especially hard. Emotions consist of our everyday lives. When something good happens, you feel happy. When something bad happens, you might feel sad or frustrated. Every now and then, you might get reminded of that ex that did you wrong. Even if something feels not so good, you're still feeling, and that's healthy. Different kinds of emotions are healthy. However, sometimes we get too invested with emotions from our past. And sometimes those emotions aren't even directed towards another person. I'm actually going to talk about a personal experience for this one. I know, me share something personal? Shocker. So, getting out of my unhealthy relationship a while back had a lot of phases. At first, it was confusing. Then I got a little sad. I got really angry for a little bit, but finally I started feeling some relief. Like I finally had my life back. But not too long after that, I started feeling angry again. It was a deeper type of anger than before. I had already forgiven this person for what they did, whether they were sorry or not. I wasn't holding on to the relationship anymore, and I certainly didn't want it back. But if all that was true, what was making it so hard to allow myself to fully let go of that anger? It took me a while to fully understand it, but after a lot of self-reflecting, I finally realized the emotion I was holding on to was not directed to anyone or thing. The anger I was holding in was directed at me personally. I was furious. I kept asking myself why I stayed for so long, how I allowed myself to be so stupid and easily manipulated. I had forgiven this person, but I couldn't forgive myself. This is a constant occurrence I see in so many people. In some ways, it's almost easier to forgive others for hurting you than it is to forgive you for hurting you. I don't know if that'll ever change in humans. I feel like we'll always be our own worst critics, no matter what the situation is. Like there's something we could have done to protect ourselves or prevent something negative from happening. But reality is, whatever is meant to be will be. If something needs to happen to you so you can learn a lesson or a new coping skill or just gain some more experience, it's gonna happen, whether you try to prevent it or not. I think it's better to just trust in the universe that what needs to happen will happen. You've got to let go of your mistakes, forgive yourself, and understand that it is okay to be human. Maybe we'll never be able to shake the feeling of guilt we get for making mistakes. But whether it's something you got yourself into, something you did to someone else, or something you even did unintentionally, being angry, frustrated, or upset with yourself is natural. However, you cannot allow those emotions to control your life. Real quick, I want you to think of something that you've been struggling to get over. Ask yourself, am I struggling because I'm upset with the situation, or am I struggling because I'm upset with myself? Whatever it may be, whether it's minor or significant, forgive yourself. Take a little bit of time out of your day to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I forgive you. I know it sounds corny. In all honesty, it is. You know how fucking weird it was to interact with myself that intensely? But eventually, it did help. Although I still struggle with forgiving myself completely sometimes, I've gotten a lot better at letting go of the frustration that can come with everything. Once you realize and accept that just because you make mistakes, just because sometimes you hurt others or yourself, just because you're human, doesn't mean you should beat yourself up over it forever. I'd so much rather learn from an oh well than constantly wonder about a what if. As long as you're learning and growing from them, your mistakes don't define you. What you do in reaction to those mistakes is what does. What you've been through and the things you've experienced isn't what makes you strong. It's how you cope with them. Sometimes you just gotta take a step back and worry about yourself for a second. Everyone deserves to love themselves and live a happy life, so every now and then, it's okay to be selfish. As long as you're working to better yourself and your life, you don't have any reason to feel bad about it. The universe is constantly on the move. You can either sit there and dwell in whatever it is you're going through, or you can follow a path and turn your struggles into accomplishments. No matter what, we should always be looking for new things to learn and new things to teach. If we can all just understand that and focus on encouraging each other to grow, maybe the world will be a little less bitter. I hope this made sense. Even though I struggle with a lot of emotional detachment, one thing I can always feel and relate to is positivity and love. I hope that if you are dealing with any of the things that I talked about, this has helped, or given you a different perspective, or just distracted you from your troubles for a bit. I understand how complicated just life in general can be. If you ever need to vent, if you ever need advice, if you ever need somebody to shut the fuck up and listen, I'm only a few clicks away. Since we talked about letting go and whatnot, tell me below something you have struggled to let go of and why you were so proud you finally let go of it. I hope that some of my words stick with you, and if they don't, I hope the image of me on my bathroom floor surrounded by lots of hair product crying to Disney show tunes at 3 o'clock in the morning does. It's taken me what feels like forever to film this video, just because I've had to redo so many videos and start from scratch, but I feel good about this one. And that's why I like putting out videos, to feel good and hopefully help others feel good too. So with all that being said, if you'd like to follow my journey, please click the subscribe button, and if you'd like to follow my other adventures, I will put my social media links in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Hug your mom, hug your pets, and until my next video, remember that the universe is on your side. Bye.
But maybe that's okay. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But maybe that's okay.